Councillors, members of the public and staff present in person and watching online this evening, welcome to the March 2026 Ordinary Meeting of Strathfield Council. This meeting will be conducted under the provisions of the Local Government Act 1993 and Council's adopted Code of Meeting Practice. Specifically, persons in the gallery are advised they may not record the proceeding of a meeting of a council or committee without the authority of the council or committee. Mobile phones must be turned to silent so as to not disrupt the meeting. Using mobile phones to record the meeting, whether audio or visual, is not permitted. This meeting is live streamed and a recording will be made on Council's website to allow the community to follow Council debates and decisions. Members of the public attending agree to have their image, voice and personal information, including name and address, recorded and publicly broadcast. Strathfield Council does not accept liability for any defamatory remarks or inappropriate comments that are made during the course of a meeting. Any part of the meeting that is held in closed session will not be streamed. Could all in the chambers please stand, if you are able, for the Mayor of Strathfield.
Please resume your seat. Thank you. The time being 6:30 p.m. I declare the ordinary council meeting of 24th of March 2026 open. Councillors, I would like to remind you of your obligation to faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers, authorities, and the discretion vested under the Local Government Act 1993 or any other act to the best of your ability and judgment, and as Chair will call you to order should there be need to do so. I would now like to ask everyone who is able to stand for the moment of reflection. We pray that our deliberations today will be objective and the decisions are impartial and made for the benefit of the whole community. Let's begin by acknowledging the Wangal people, the traditional custodians of the land on which this meeting is being held. We pay respect to elders past, present, and emerging. Thank you. You can now all resume your seats. An apology has been received from Councillor Pensabini, who has advised that she is unable to attend the meeting tonight due to illness and the request that the Council grant her a leave of absence. I move that the Council grants Councillor Pensabini a leave of absence for the 24th of March 2026 ordinary meeting of Council. Can I have a seconder?
I'll second it.
Okay, Councillor, ready? There being no debate or further debate on the motion, I will now put the motion to the vote. For those in favor, please raise your hand. Thank you. I declare motion carried unanimously. Councillors, I will ask you to make any disclosure of interest for the matters on the agenda. If you do have a disclosure, I request that you raise your hand, and when I call upon you, please stand and clearly state the item, the nature of the conflict, and what action you will take. Yeah, Councillor Bremo.
So I have a non-pecuniary, non-significant
declaration in PE6. I have met and I know the owners of this land, and I believe it's not significant. Acting in my role as a council, this is just a letter endorsing council's position, and yeah, they have not asked me to represent their interests or anything like that, so I'll stay in the meeting.
Thank you. Any other councillors? You want to do that? Okay. No, not yet. Okay, I have my few conflict of interest. The first one is going to be in PE1 inside the 12.1 in the committee meeting, in the strategy and the policy strategy meeting that I live in the along the Parramatta Road. I have no I have non-pecuniary and non-significant interest of the item, so I will stay. And the second one is LC4 about Flemish City policies that including the Flemish City of Nan'an City from China that I'm moving for these motions, but that is again non-pecuniary and non-significant of the interest of this one. The other one, that's it. Councillors, the purpose of acknowledgement is to recognize the many great contributions that are made from and for our community. In that spirit, we should ensure that positive comments are provided for the public record. Councillors, does anyone have any acknowledgement that they wish to bring before the meeting? Okay. I'm sure it's finished. Okay. Councillor Rennie.
Good evening, everyone. I have few acknowledgements today to make it today. My first one is the Strathfield Multicultural and Advisory Committee has celebrated its Harmony Day on 21st of March, Saturday, in our town hall. We had around 180 people attend, and we had our Mayor Benjamin Chai attended, and myself was there, and Councillor Nosworthy, Councillor Kim, and former Councillor Raj Datta, and the entire team, council staff and team were there. All the cultural performances were done voluntarily by the committee, and we have acknowledged the service of SES, State Emergency Services, and HSS, Hindu Swayam Sevak Sangh, both the groups who have been helping the local community, and we have appreciated and given a token of appreciation to them, Strathfield history book to both the groups. And we had the best dress competition as well for the prizes, and the best dress group was chosen as the Bulgarian group. They've received a prize, and for the individual, best dressed individual, we have given to our own Christy Watts, who made an effort to come up in full orange. And thank you. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all the committee members who have worked very hard, and the council staff who made it happen in the last minute with a really minimal notice. A special thanks to Christy Watts, Bhari, Bhatt, Jack, and Jaden. And my second acknowledgement is for the members of the Satya Sai Global Council. This group has been, they have done a Clean Up Australia Day in Strathfield Park on March 1st. It's a Sunday, and 3 generations came together. They were teaching the kids. The kids were really like 6 years old, and they picked up a lot of rubbish. And after picking up the rubbish was sorted into recycling and non-recyclable items. And I would like to appreciate and thank them for their service. The other group who has done Clean Up Australia Day, same, that is HSS. They have done in the Fidget Park on 7th of March. 3 generations came together, they have cleaned it, and this year's their motto was our community, our responsibility. And my fourth and last acknowledgement is I would like to acknowledge Hush and Socks who have come in the last council meeting with great numbers for coming to an agreement with council for new lease of council facilities. Hush and Socks license expired in 2023, and since there was no license, and the negotiations has been going up and down, and many misinformation was spread it around. But at the end of the day, I would like to appreciate our mayor, Mr. Benjamin Chai, for passing his mayoral minute, and our GM, Mr. Michael Memo, and his efficient staff for the successful negotiations. End of the day, I think we have reached, we are going to have a license with them after 3 years of non-license negotiations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Bhatti.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to acknowledge Olive Tree Cafe, which was officially opened last Saturday at Hudson Park. This new cafe is an initiative of Paula Nicholas, from the St. Macorius charity, and its proceeds will fund the work they do feeding the homeless. Thank you to the council staff for working with Paula and her team to help open Olive Tree, and we hope that it will continue to serve our community with the charitable work it does for many years to come, and of course with good brews of coffee too.
Thank you. Noteworthy.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd just like to acknowledge the ongoing work our executive team is doing in relation to the petrol price situation at the moment. Obviously, we've seen a lot of different actions taken around the world, depending on their access to crude oil and petrol. So, hopefully this situation ends quite soon, but if not, we might be considering some of those options, which may affect us as councillors as well as the wider functions of council. But thanks to our executive team for being on top of it, and contingency planning having started already.
Thank you. Any other councillor? Councillor Kim?
So many. Can I read it? Yeah. I would like to acknowledge and thank the Strasbourg Council staff who organized such a meaningful, thoughtful International Women's Day event the 6th of March. It was a very well-planned and a smoothly run event. I particularly appreciated the introduction of Lou's Place and the opportunity to support their important work through donations. Thank you to everyone involved for the care and effort that went into making the event meaningful. Second one is CAS service, 45th anniversary. 45th anniversary. I would like to acknowledge and congratulate CAS services on celebrating its 45th anniversary. What began as a not-for-profit initiative has grown into a leading community organization in New South Wales. For more than 4 decades, CAS has provided dedicated support to multicultural communities and made a meaningful difference in the lives of many families. I sincerely thank their leadership, staff, and volunteers for their long-standing commitment to community service and congratulate them on this important milestone.
Thank you. Okay, I have few acknowledgement. The first one, I think, about the Harmony Date. The Deputy Mayor has said that already, that I won't repeat it. But the second one is International Women's Day is slightly different with the Councillor King, so I still would like to acknowledge the wonderful event Council hosted in celebration of International Women's Day on 6th of March 2026. This year's theme is Balance the Scales, challenged us all to reflect on how we can continue to strive for gender equity in meaningful and practical ways. The event was a great success. The town hall was filled with women and their male allies from our area of all ages and cultures. We also received students from English Boys High School, the Australian International School, Meriden, and Trinity Grammar. I was so proud to welcome these young minds to our event. We were also privileged to hear from our keynote speaker, Ms. Jean Kitson, whose insight, humor, and perspective brought an engaging and meaningful dimension to the event. They reinforced the importance of continuing the conversation around equity and opportunity. I'm also proud to share that the event raised over 1,000 for Lois Place, an organization that provides vital support, connection, and care for women in need. Their work, it truly embodies the spirit of this year's theme. Thank you to Council's event team for delivering such a meaningful and well-run event, and to everyone who is attended and contributed to its success. The other one, I would like to storm response and community recovery, that our want to acknowledge and sincerely thank Council's operations team for their outstanding response to the severe storm event on the Thursday night of 26th of February. In a short period of time, Strathfield experienced approximately 150 millimeters of the rain in just 1 hour, overwhelming parts of the drainage network and resulting in localized flooding and debris across our streets and the public areas. Our teams worked late into the night and throughout the following day, braving difficult conditions to make areas safe, clear debris, and restore access for the community. This included significant work in Law Square and the surrounding areas, where crews utilized specialized equipment to manage stormwater and clean impacted locations. Importantly, I would like to highlight that some of the infrastructure impacted, particularly the pipes, requires urgent cleaning, were not council-owned assets, but transport for New South Wales infrastructure. Despite these, our teams act proactively and without hesitation to address the issue, prioritizing community safety and a timely return to normal condition. This response reflects the high standard to which we maintain our own assets and the strong sense of responsibility our staff bring to serving the community, stepping in when needed, even where the issues falls outside our direct control. Thank you again to our operation teams, Kathy's team. Thank you for their professionalism, commitment, and dedication. go into the minute of the ordinary council meeting, 24th February 2026. Can I move? You move? Can I have a seconder? Alrighty. Councillors, does anyone wish to speak for or against the motion? I now put the motion to the vote. Those in favor, please raise your hand. I declare the motion carried unanimously. Okay, now. Okay, I got one mayoral minutes. The items, PO1, the maintenance service levels in Strathfield considered at the Strategy and the Policy Committee on 10th of March 2026. Councillors, you have a copy of my mayoral minutes, which I bring forward as I firmly believe that all councillors should have the opportunity to participate and debate on the matters of service level for the community. Having provided you with the opportunity to consider the mayoral minutes, I now put the recommendation to council. Yep. Councillor Brady.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm going to speak in favour of the motion, but first I'd like to move an amendment, as was sent to David. The amendment is that Council 1 acknowledges the importance of Strathfield presenting a high standard, particularly along key transport corridors and entry points, so that residents, visitors and passers-by experience a strong and positive sense of place. 2, does not proceed with the proposed verge mowing and associated maintenance measures outlined in the mayoral minute, on the basis that these measures alone will not meaningfully achieve the desired uplift in presentation and character. 3, reports to council at the April Ordinary Council meeting. I actually think I tabled something different. May Ordinary Council meeting, a report outlining a Strathfield beautification program, including the following: identification of key corridors, gateways and high visibility zones within the LGA, opportunities to significantly enhance visual and amenity and streetscape character, options for enhanced planting, including feature plantings, flower species, and increased canopy tree coverage, opportunities for improved maintenance standards, including cleanliness of roads, verges, and traffic infrastructure, potential for public domain upgrades and place-based design improvements, consideration of established distinctive design or architectural excellence zones where appropriate under planning controls, opportunities to work with Transport for New South Wales or relevant state agencies to improve state-controlled roads and corridors, cost estimates, staging, and potential funding sources for all this. Now, within the next few weeks, the General Manager seeks, and I'm going to make an adjustment here to what I think was sent in. Is that 4? Okay, I'm going to adjust that amendment to say there that the General Manager seeks submissions from councillors and the community. Yep. In relation to which zones ought to be prioritised. Moving on, and 5 notes the purpose of this program is to ensure that any person travelling through Strathfield, whether along major roads or local intersections, can clearly perceive an uplift in quality, character and identity through a coordinated and place-based beautification approach. Thank you.
Any other debate for the amendment?
Just a quick point of order, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to know if the mover of the amendment yourself accepts the amendment.
Sorry about that, councillors. Can I have the mover for the amendment? Hey, thank you.
You accept it.
I accept. I accept amendment. Any other debate for that? Yeah, Councillor Norton.
So yeah, just quickly, no, I think it's a good idea to kind of have a detailed report. There's probably little things I might disagree with, but obviously going to the community and going to councils, we can make submissions. So I think this is a really positive step. For example, roses, not a native species, probably challenges some of our council's goals in terms of planting. But I think overall, happy to support it. We do want to see an uplift in the attractiveness of our area. And, you know, we'll probably get a couple extra community points once the consultation's complete.
Thank you. Okay, if no other debate, I will bring this motion for the vote. All those in favor, please put your hand up. Thank you, councillors. I declare the motion carried unanimously. And okay, yes, councillor.
I'll wait.
I'll start. Okay, the item for exception in accordance with the section 13 of Council's Code of Meeting Practice items can be dealt with by exception, and they can be adopted as recommended by a single motion. Okay, now I am going to go through one by one. The 10.1.
Yes.
Okay. 10.2.
Yes.
10.3.
Sorry, just to go, are we saying yes?
Yes, mean.
Does yes mean bring it out, or does yes mean leave it
Yes
in?
means keep it.
You did say out or in?
Out.
Let's say out or in, I think.
Out or in, okay.
Yeah, so far.
If you want to bring out, okay,
Yeah, so far.
if no sound as a candidate is stay, okay. Okay, I start again, okay. 10.1,
In,
10.2,
in,
10.3,
out,
out, okay. 10.4,
Out.
10.5,
Out.
out or in?
out,
Out. 10.6, out. LC1,
out,
Out.
LC2, LC3,
LC2 out too?
No. Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh,
sure.
out.
Yeah,
LC2 out?
LC3,
Out.
LC4,
Out.
LC5,
Out.
hmm?
I think that has to come out.
Okay. LC6, out as well.
No, not LCC.
LC6 is confidential, it has to come out.
No.
No.
No, if you don't discuss it, doesn't matter.
LC7, CCS1,
Out.
Yeah.
CCS2,
Out.
CCS3, CCS4,
Out. Take out CCS3, Mr. Mayor.
CCS3, okay, PE1, PE2, PE3, PE4,
Out,
sorry.
out.
out.
So apologies, Mr. Mayor, there's a little bit quick there. PE3, I want out.
PE3, you want to be out, okay.
And P.
PE4 out.
P4 out,
PE4, PE5,
Out.
out,
PE6,
Out, please, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, that's the, oh no.
PO1,
Out.
PO2,
Out.
PO3,
Out.
okay, last one is 12.1,
in,
12.2,
Out.
okay.
So Mr. Mayor, I'll withdraw 13.1.
Which one?
13.1, I'll withdraw.
Oh, you withdraw 13.1, thank you, councillor. Just withdraw.
Noted in the minutes.
That's it?
It's just been noted.
Councillor Bramall, which one you withdraw?
13.1.
13.1, we'll withdraw that. We don't need-
13.1. How about 13.2?
I can't withdraw that. If you want to withdraw that, Councillor Blarty.
That wasn't you.
All right, Councillor, can I have mover for the motion? Thank you. And seconded by Councillor Blarty. The moved by Councillor Reddy. I now put the motion to the vote. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Councillor, yeah, I declare the motion carried unanimously. I got the motion to move as lots of residents here. Yeah.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to suspend standing orders and move that we go straight to CCS 2.
I'll second that, Councillor Blarty.
CCS2.
CCS. Oh, you moved already, yeah? Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Where was Councillor Blackmore?
Blarty move, second Blackmore.
Not that really.
Too bad.
To be accurate.
Is it only CCS2?
Yeah. I now put the motion to the vote. All those in favor, please raise your hand. I declare motion carried unanimously. Okay, now we go to CCS.
I'll move it, Mr. Mayor.
I will second it.
Thank you. Okay, seconded by Councillor Blarty, moved by Councillor Bramall. CCS 2. Are you ready for this one?
Sorry. I'd just like to speak to the motion, Mr. Mayor. Thank you. I'd like to amend the report or adopt the alternate option D. But in the alternate option D, I would like to include Kessel Avenue in it so that it's alternate option D is what we go out for consultation on with the inclusion of Kessel Avenue. And the reason I do so is in line with what some of our speakers earlier tonight mentioned, Mr. Mayor, which is that Kessel Avenue included in the proposal was what was agreed upon last time. I'm not sure why it's not reflected as an option in what was given to us tonight, but what was agreed upon at the last meeting, this was discussed, was the inclusion of Kessel Avenue and the exclusion of the Homebush Village Town Centre and the Homebush Public School. So I think by amending alternate option D to be inclusive of Kessel Avenue and otherwise remain the same, we achieve that outcome that was agreed upon previously. This is, of course, something I'm rather passionate about because it's been a long time in the making, but I'm very keen to see consultation for this begin shortly, and hopefully we have a positive outcome this time round with the support of members of the community. It was very clear the last time we went out to consultation, giving rough numbers here, which are included in the report, that it was about 50-50 who were sort of broadly in favour or broadly against, but with the inclusion of those who had an alternate perspective or adjustments as their recommendations, which, you know, a lot of whom were in that petition seeking to include Kessel Avenue in the proposal, it became a more even divide of about 30-40, I believe. So my hope is, by including Kessel Avenue in this new approach, we will have all the support from residents of Kessel Avenue who will help us to get more community support for this proposal, and hopefully we have a clear majority of residents who support the change, and ideally the GNB agrees with us once we make that submission to them. So I encourage councillors to support the amendment or the point I've put forward here. I don't know, it's not quite an amendment, but I commend that to my fellow councillors, and hopefully...
The record is clarified.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. Sorry, thank you. So you'll see in the recommendation for this evening on the report that council received to community consultation on the updated proposal between Strathfield and Homebush West, whereby the proposed boundary excludes the Homebush Shopping Village and Homebush Public School and includes Kessel Avenue.
Sorry.
I suspect maybe the maps just aren't that clear because we've gone through a big tin can, but tonight's recommendation, I believe, reflects the resolution that was put forward last round.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Just to clarify my point there as well, and I acknowledge that it was written in the recommendation, it was more just that in option D, when it's explained, it isn't, it's in the option itself that it's sort of, it becomes unclear. So I just wanted to make sure that when we adopted it, it was clarified that that is actually specifically what we're doing, which is the recommendation. So happy to adopt that and go forward with it. So anyway, I hope my fellow councillors accept that and we can move forward on this project. Sorry?
Take that out.
What else?
The motion.
Moving
it as moving as
Oh, so you're putting this
the recommendation.
Recommendations.
Yeah, I will move to accept the recommendation rather than an amendment.
Take out your amendment.
To take out the amendment, but accept the recommendation. Thank you.
Sorry, I'm looking.
That's all right.
Give them 1 sec. Make sure everything's hunky-dory on the minutes. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Obviously, I have spoken against this motion before. I guess piggybacking off the end comments of Councillor Bellardi, he is correct. There was kind of a split vote, and I worry that vote will remain even in the new proposal, and at that point it'll go to the GNB or not. But the money will be spent, so I'm not sure either we will get to the GNB because we won't get a nice majority, or we may and then it gets rejected for other reasons. It's been spoken about having this nice natural boundary, but we're kind of ruining that by taking out the village and the public school. I understand there's been complaints about the two famously named Homebush sites being in Strathfield, but it does ruin that continuity of a nice natural border being the train line. The report mentions consultation fatigue, so I worry as well that the number of responses we'll get will be lower. That again might affect how the GNB sees it. I don't know how they're going to look at the consultation, go, well, we had this many in the first consultation, so they want this and this many. It's getting quite confused. More money is being spent, and I'm just not convinced it's going to actually happen, get through all these steps. And so, for me, I'm going to vote against it.
Thank you, Councillor. Any other questions? If not, yeah.
May I have a right of reply, Mr. Mayor?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm deserving of one necessarily because it's a report.
No, I don't really.
No, I'll take it nonetheless. I think the point of doing this again, and I acknowledge, Mr. Mayor, the councillor's remarks relating to consultation fatigue and also the kind of further confusion, which is exactly what we're trying to combat in this. However, I think the point of this new approach is that we acknowledge the first time round, we went to consultation, there were plenty of issues brought up by the community relating to what we were proposing. This second approach is to say we're taking on all that feedback and we anticipate, I think rather fairly, that by taking on those recommendations from the community, this new one, which adopts those, will have more widespread support. And that's what we're hoping for. And I'm sure those here tonight would agree that there'll be plenty of people who are supportive of, themselves included, of this new approach because it is taking on the recommendations of the community. So.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Let's vote on this, Mr. Mayor.
I now put the motion to the vote. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Councillor Bradmore, Councillor King, Councillor Bellardi, Councillor Reddy, and Councillor Chai. Against? Councillor McWay.
Probably hand out.
Motion carried.
Just do the resumption.
Can I move, Mr. Mayor, that we resume the schedule of the agenda?
I'm going to adjourn the meeting for 2 minutes.
Okay.
Now I'm going to resume the meeting. Now we are going to the item 10.3. Can I have a seconder for the motion?
Motion failed.
No,
Seconder.
No seconder.
Okay, I declare the motion closed. 10.4,
It's not lost.
lapse. Oh, okay, the motion lapse. Thank you. 10.4, can I have a seconder for this one? No, I declare the motion lapse as well. All right, we go to 10.5.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Councillor Bermo. Anyone want to speak for the motion? Okay.
Yeah, I get to go first. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to double check. I made some change. Yeah, Dean Street's on there, and Homewood is spelt correctly.
Hollywood, yes.
It was Hollywood, yes, which I don't think we have in our LGA. I blame autocorrect. So yeah, I think we had a speaker who I guess technically was speaking on this matter. Essentially, there's been a number of complaints from this area of our LGA. There's been a truck there, like a tarmac carrying truck for a while. There's been a number of rental cars, or what appear to be rental cars, used in the southern end of each of those cross streets. So essentially, residents are fed up that businesses are using their curbside parking, and so to try and avoid that, if we could put in say 4P, as the gentleman suggested, along with resident permits, so residents can park there, and businesses can park there for 4 hours, and then obviously have to move on. Hopefully that will alleviate some of the problems in that part of our LGA.
Thank you, Councillor. And who is going to speak first? Okay, Councillor Bardi.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm going to oppose this motion as it stands. No, in fact, what I'll do is I'll provide an amendment to send. This is not something I think is necessary, but I will do this in this case because I do think that it could be fleshed out a bit better. And so I will seek an amendment that sends this for consideration at the local transport forum.
Just a question through the chair, if I may.
Yes, Councillor Bermo.
Just a quick question through the chair. I believe discussions that are already being undertaken that this matter is going to be listed for the April local traffic forum meeting. So, yeah, I think if we just note that it's going to be listed in that forum would probably be appropriate.
I'd accept that. I think my amendment would be to, in that case, remove the motion as it stands and note that council's local transport forum will consider this matter at an upcoming meeting and therefore reject it. But I'm just trying to think about how to word that, because if we add that as an additional section, it would be, if I could ask for the entire motion as the amendment to read as a replacement to what's there, that parking in Strathfield South will be considered at an upcoming local transport forum meeting as a replacement to the motion, but I'll ask the mover to accept it.
David.
Strathfield South.
Strathfield South. Yeah.
Informed Mr. Mumby. Make sure I'm informed, Mr. Mumby.
Very good.
Hey.
Timing. No, I'll have to do a letterbox to the owner. I think that a resident parking scheme in Strathfield South adjacent to Dean Street would be something there.
Yeah, to be more specific, yeah. Just to continue, that it says in the second word to be that a residential parking scheme. Yeah, better. Thank you. Thanks, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Through you, Mr Chair, that resolution would actually require something to the effect that council note that a residential parking scheme,
Sure.
because there's no.
Happy for that to be reflected.
Note.
I accept that, as a second.
You'll have to accept it. Yeah, no, that's right.
That. Another that.
I accept that, Mr Mayor.
All good?
Correct.
Fantastic.
Just for
It's been accepted.
Yeah, Matthew accepted.
I accept, yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Councillor Paramore. Okay, I'll put this motion for the vote. All those support will be raise your hand. Thank you, councillors. I declare motion carried unanimously. And we are going 10.6. Councillor Noteworthy, are you going to?
I'll move it, but I need a second.
Can I second Councillor Barati? Any councillors, would you like now to speak for the motion?
Yes, please, Mr Mayor. So again, this is in response to mildly the feedback of one of the speakers. There's been a number of reports I've had that, you know, people are parking in the same place for 10, 15, 20 years. Parking conditions change in a relatively small section. They park there again and they get a parking ticket. So basically what I want to find out is how small an area still gets consultation. So if it's outside someone's house, we talked about it with the EV charging and similar parking conditions. Is there always consultation? Because the feedback I've been getting is perhaps they weren't aware of it. Same goes with businesses, especially quite close to where I live. There's been a complaint that changed, weren't told about it, parked there, got a ticket, feeling a bit of grief because, you know, a letter in the mail, they would have known, they would have avoided it. Happy day. So that's why I've moved this motion.
Thank you, councillor. Any other councillor would speak for the motion? Yeah, councillor Barty.
I just want to second what Councillor Nosworthy said. I think sometimes we do make decisions in this place that you know, ought to be put before the community before we proceed with them, particularly when it is things such as where people park or have parked outside their own homes for, you know, 20 odd years or whatever it might be. And I think the more community consultation, particularly relating to that sort of matter, the better. There are plenty of examples of new yellow lines being gifted to plenty of residents outside their homes that they've not been very, very happy with and weren't told about whatsoever. Woke up one day and saw, I can't park outside my house anymore. And even though it's a decision of the people in this room, it's still something we should put before residents before we adopt it.
Thank you. Councillor Levy.
I would like to share my first-hand experience. We never had a yellow line in my street, Gregory Street. We got a yellow line, and where we used to park, my son parked on the yellow line, and my car has a red council sticker, but still it got fined because it was parked on the yellow line, which was wrong. I wish we got a letter saying that yellow lines, how they are used, what they can do, what is a grace march they can cross, but I ended up paying $330 fine. And I would support the motion for better communication.
That's in South Strathfield as well.
Happen to anyone.
Like it is.
All right, councillors.
Just a closing remark. I'd like to acknowledge the kindness of Councillor Reddy for paying for her son's fine. I think that's wonderful.
All right. Good mother. All right, councillors, I now put the motion to the vote. All those in favour, please raise your hands. I declare motion carried unanimously. We go to LC1. Can I have mover?
I'll move it.
Councillor Reddy, can I have a seconder? Councillor Bellardi. Councillors, we have an officer recommended for this report. Does anyone want to speak for the motion? Okay, Councillor Bellardi.
I would just like to say, relating to the new events committee, that I think it's great to see it reported back so quickly. I mean, it was only moved to the last council meeting. Notwithstanding, I was rather prescriptive in the nom relating to what it would look like, or certain ideas to be considered for adoption in the terms of reference. And I think it's a great step in the right direction for the council. I'm really eager to be very involved in the events committee. I think at the moment we're working very closely with the relevant staff when it comes to events, as you know, Mr. Mayor, by providing advice in a sort of working group scenario. I think the casual nature of that group has been functional thus far, but I do think that more formally putting together this committee is a step in the right direction, as I said, the last council meeting. And also, I think the inclusion of members of the public or the community in what we are doing when it comes to planning events is a great contribution, particularly even though us councillors are members of the community, if you will. It's also good to have non-council, impartial outsiders also involved, and hearing their, I think, voice and contributions will be invaluable to the organisation. So I'm very eager to be, get my hands dirty with that committee, and looking forward to being involved. One last thing, I will make one amendment, which is that the current recommendation that the committee meets monthly, but I might amend that the committee will meet, the current recommendation is that it's every second month, but I'll move that it meets monthly instead, and on a Tuesday, preferably, if possible, if can be accommodated.
Ready or try? Ready or try?
Okay, Councillor Reddy is going to.
I'll just quickly withdraw if possible. Sorry.
I would like to nominate Councillor Bellardi as chair and Councillor Chai, Mr. Mayor, as the deputy chair for this committee. Though all councillors are members of it, 7 councillors, but I would prefer, as it was an initiation made by Councillor Bellardi, it would be fair, and looking at his enthusiasm and commitment, we would like him to be a chair if he accepts.
Councillor Bellardi, you accept?
I don't know if that requires a response, but I will accept it. And I'll also just amend that the Tuesday be omitted from the previously forwarded amendment there. So just to meet monthly.
Monthly, okay. Not Tuesday, yeah.
And I'll just ask the mover to accept the amendments,
yeah.
and I'll, as seconder, accept as well. Thank you.
You accept it?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, councillors. If no other debate, Yeah.
Through you, Mr. Chair, just noting that items 1 and 3 are inconsistent because item 1 accepts the terms of reference as drafted, and then item 3 seeks to amend that. So perhaps item 1 could read that council adopt the events committee with the attached terms of reference, comma,
Amendments.
such that the council shall meet monthly.
Accepted.
Okay, and then we don't have. Okay, lovely. Thank you, councillors. I'll now put the motion to the vote. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Councillor Northworthy, Councillor Kim, Councillor Brady, and Councillor Reddy, and Councillor Chai, and against Councillor Redmore. I declare motion carried. We go to the item LC2. Can I have a seconder? Oh, I can second it. Yeah. I can second it. Yeah. All right. Councillor, would you like to speak for support your motion?
No, I would like to close with the last comment, but I would let the councillor speak.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Question.
Councillor Kim has a question.
Oh, yeah.
You
Refer to
that for her. Okay, Councillor Kim.
Thank you for, first of all this very clear and very good report about the review and the expenses. And I have a question about, there are so many events I have attended in Australia Day, especially, and then there is a Australia Day 24, 25, 2,000 people attended, and 26, and 2,500 people attended. I'd like to ask which method they have been used to check the numbers of attendees of all the events, like 1,000 people, 1,500 people, and 180, 110, because whenever the event when I attended, my feeling is different from what they have here. So I'd like to know which method they have used it to check all the numbers of attendees. And second one is the cost, or I checked all the costs, they say significantly labor cost $22,000 above spending for the labor cost, the bump in, bump out. So this cost is in every year same. Who are involved in those expenditures? It is for the council staff or outside council, some other companies. I'd like to know that. And are they, okay. And all this allocation of the expenditure, I see it. Is there any possibility to reduce the cost of event? That's my three questions.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, I think for the majority of those questions, we'd have to capture them through the minutes and take them on notice. And we'll report back.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah.
If I could just echo, not necessarily the question, but the sort of sentiment of Councillor Kim's, Mr. Mayor. I think it is a little bit strange to see in the Australia Day report 2,500 people reported as attending. I think you would struggle to get into the hundreds, to be honest, if you were to have been there. I think the reality is Strathfield Square might have a lot of people who are passers-by, but that does not mean they're engaging in our activities. So I think it's a really strange thing to see 2,500 people reported as having attended.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor, now this one you put
This is me.
For yourself.
Hand up for me. Yeah, just maybe some questions to add to Councillor Kim's list. The Christmas carols appears to be frequently affected by adverse weather. Yeah, I think it's hard because it has to be near Christmas. Weather near Christmas is potentially adverse with thunderstorms, and so I guess the question is there a contingency we can create? We probably can't fit anywhere inside, but that's question one. Question two is in relation to, we seem to kind of hire some of the same equipment every year. So the question would be, is there any cost saving in purchasing that equipment and reusing it for multiple events, rather than hiring it, Australia Day, carols, etc. I think especially screens, generators, those kinds of items. So if we could add those questions to the minutes to be taken on notice.
If I could just suggest to both councillors who have put questions forward, we have just established a committee that both are members of which both members. So maybe we could save a bit of time by bringing those questions to that committee instead, and sort of maybe withdraw those questions. I might suggest, if you're willing. It doesn't matter too much, but Mr. Mayor, I just think that, this is exactly the reason why we are having this events committee, and I think there's excellent questions to be asking. But I will note just quickly on the contingency plan, and excuse the sort of pun, if you will, I don't want to rain on your parade, but I do think that there was a lot of talk at, I think some councillors here were there, with the Tamil Senior Association's Christmas party last year. There were plenty of groups who sang and performed who would have been excellent contributions to our event, and there was almost a sort of rallying cry that they're all going to be involved in council's one next year, being this year. So I would be very eager to involve them, and in particular they suggested Strathfield Square. So anyway, these are all things that we could discuss in that committee, but Mr. Mayor, I'm just suggesting to these councillors that they bring those questions to the new committee.
Thank you, Councillor. Okay. I'll get the councillor ready to close the speak.
As the mover of the motion, I would like to echo with Councillor Bellari's points. We are creating a committee where we will have control, not after spending the money, we are not going to see it, we are going to dictate how we are going to spend the money. So I think most of our questions are answered in the previous motion. LC1, Events Committee will address most of it, and I'll be supporting the current report because there's not much to be done here, but I think we already got the solution. We've created a solution in LC1. Thank you.
Thank you, councillors. I now put the motion to vote. All those in favour, please raise your hand. I declare motion carried unanimously. We go into next item, LC3. Yes. Can I have the mover for this one, Councillor Reddy, and the seconded by Councillor Noteworthy. Councillor, are you going to speak for your motion?
No, I'm gonna answer in the last. I'm gonna respond.
Any other?
Yeah, just a question. The report lists that councils are able to book the Ironbark room in the library. Just how do we go about that process?
Yeah, okay.
Would you have to someone? They're looking around, not knowing.
Sorry, what was the question?
How does a councillor book the Ironbark room?
So that can be booked through emailing the library team. There's a specific email which is the library. It says library at Strathfield. Yes, so if you email the team, they'll respond to you on that.
Thank you. And Councillor Reddy, are you going to close the speak?
No, I just have another question. Is there a record being maintained of which councillor books? Like a history of which councillor booked how many hours, or what was the purpose and all that stuff?
Through you, Mr. Mayor. We don't keep a particular log, no.
So there's no log. If I've booked something and used for my personal purpose rather than the council, would it be recorded somewhere or not?
So when the councillors book the room, we do remind them what they used it for, but we don't go and check it, no.
Thank you, Christy. Okay, if no other debate, I now put the motion to the vote. All those in favour, please put your hands up. I declare motion carried unanimously. And we are going to LC4. I can move the motion. Can I have a seconder for this one? Seconded by Sandy Reddy. Councillor, any councillor want to debate for this one?
I just have a couple of questions.
Yep.
Mr. Mayor, through the chair.
Councillor Bramall.
Yeah, just through the chair. A couple of questions. One is that it talks about all councillors. There's a mandatory DFAT training for a final approval for a Friendship City arrangement. So the question is, is that compulsory thing? Do all councillors need to do it? If all councillors don't do it, does that jeopardise the approval? Second point is, so basically after we have a council election, I assume there will be new people elected, hence, hopefully some people retiring, and will those councillors then have to also be have compulsory training as well as specified in point 1?
Through you, Mr Mayor, in relation to the councillor training that's being run by the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, it's recommended that all councillors attend that training, and the advice that we've received from DFAT is that it would be highly beneficial for all councillors to attend that training. Likewise, that same answer would apply to the second question.
Thank you.
Can I just on,
Can you help?
Well, you asked the question.
just follow up that?
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the question, yeah, through the chair. So that, the question is that, like, is that something that has to be done?
You mean the training?
Yeah, does it has to be done by all councillors? And does that jeopardise our Friendship City arrangement?
Through you, Mr Mayor, the advice that we've have been received is that it's highly recommended. Is it compulsory? No, but it would be highly recommended that councillors attend it.
Yes, Councillor Northworthy.
Does council bear any cost for the, question through the chair, does the council bear any cost for the training with the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade?
Through you, Mr Chair, no.
Councillor Barty, you put your hands up as well.
My question's been answered. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, councillors. I have no more question about this one. I now put the motion to the vote. All those in favour, please put your hand up. I declare motion carry unanimously. Okay, we go to LC5. Okay, I can move the motion. Can I have a seconder for this? Second, thank you. Councillor Reddy, second this. Any councillor want to speak for this one?
You need to actually make a determination.
Oh, okay.
You've got to nominate.
Nominate someone.
Oh, okay. This is not my motion.
No, you're nominating.
Okay.
Just a question through the chair as well.
Sorry. Just in relation to this Parramatta Catchment Committee, we have been a member of this committee for quite some time. I haven't seen any benefit at all. What's the cost associated with being a member of this committee?
Do you have a rough idea?
Later report.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, it's about $16,000. It does go up on. Sorry. $60,000 a year.
60.
16?
60.
Can we take that on notice?
Yeah, can we take this note?
Yeah, for a later report.
1 second, $1 million one, 1 second.
60, yes.
Is he right? He just asked me to do it.
So that's Cook's River 66, Parramatta Catchment's 21,000. That's still a lot.
Bargain. How much is SS Rock?
Bigger river, less money.
Somebody gonna do something?
No, it's all right.
Sorry, Ben.
Get a vote.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor. We're just in a bit of shock at the cost of the
Okay.
the committee.
You
We'll just gather
The
our
report,
we'll
councillor.
gather our thoughts.
All right, as a mover of this motion, I'd like to, can I appointment first, and then you talk later? Okay, thank you. I would like to appoint, Councillor Northworthy, Councillor Northworthy as the, committee member of the, Parramatta River Catchment Group. In a minute, I'm checking. Thank you.
How long is between meetings?
It's Councillor.
Mr. Mayor, just in light of what we've learned from the information later in the piece tonight, and the sort of acknowledgement, I think, pretty widely that it's of limited benefit to us. I might move that we, in fact, reject further membership of the Parramatta Catchment Committee, but I'm cautious to take further advice on this, so that rather than rejecting it in this moment on the limited advice we have, we maybe can, I might suggest an amendment, and it would be a point 2 that council consider relinquishing membership of the Parramatta River Catchment Group at through a report provided at a later meeting. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
And I'll just ask the Mayor to ask the mover and seconder to accept that.
No, I can accept that. Please second. Okay. You want to say?
So it's Rory, and then also...
Also no. Already elected. One planner, sorry. Leaving 2 in.
Yeah. February.
Yeah. All right. Okay, I now put the motion to the vote. All those in favor, please put your hand up. I declare motion carried unanimously. We go to the next one. Okay. CCS1. Can I have a mover for this one? Councillor Brady and seconded by Councillor Reddy. Are you going to speak for?
I would like to speak, not for the motion per se. I don't have much to say about the motion, but rather I just want to sort of comment on something that I think this is the best vessel through which I can make this commentary. But something that's sort of come to my attention is I'll word this correctly, bear with me. In the delivery program, it mentions the delivery of well-maintained neighbourhoods and public lands. I think it's page 131 of the report, of our agenda. And, you know, in that it sort of highlights that council's meant to be keeping our public spaces clean, etc., as part of the delivery program. And what I've sort of taken issue with, I think recently, is a lot of back and forth. And I'm not sort of pointing fingers at all, but rather there's a bit of, I think, a lot of confusion around the delivery of that service, Mr. Mayor. You know, this is an issue I brought up probably 18 months ago, and I'm still not sure, or it's not been made clear, how regularly do our staff clean the commercial areas? I've been told it's every day. Then local businesses say it's not every day. There are, you know, there was a machine bought to clean the ground of some areas, and then certain businesses were told, if you take your things in, we can clean, and then they hired staff to bring things in and out, furniture that is, and then the cleaning wasn't done, and then it was done, and now it's not being done. So I think what's really important, and I'd like to see reflected, you know, in future delivery progress reports, delivery program progress reports, is actually when certain services are being provided, not just that broadly speaking they are, because there's a lot of confusion around certain things, and I'd be really eager to see those things clarified. I mean, we don't tell residents, oh, we'll pick up your bins, just leave them outside. We are very clear, we pick up your bins on a Tuesday or a Friday or whatever. I think the same should be done for everyone when it comes to what commercial areas are or aren't being cleaned and how regularly. So I think it's just fair.
My question to you is, you know, what do you mean the commercial areas, just shop front or including the industrial areas?
No, I don't mean industrial areas, sorry. I mean particularly outside local shops and businesses.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Councillor Not.
Yeah, no, I have similar comments to Councillor Bellardi. There's kind of two phrases that jumped out at me, that public domain cleanliness is maintained to a higher standard. That's true in some areas, no doubt, but in other areas not quite as well, and somewhat what he's referring to. The other one's around customer service, 'cause it does say it's been strengthened, and perhaps it has, but I've still received complaints, a bit like a personal story like Councillor Reddy. I called to book something just from my private number as a private citizen and just never heard back. So I still think there's work to do on customer service. So just a note similar to Councillor Bellardi's about what's in the delivery program.
Thank you, Councillor. Yeah, Councillor Reddy.
Just a comment alongside with both my councillor colleagues. Things are being done, but there is no consistency. They get clean when they want. They don't get clean. They don't know when it's going to be clean next. Today it's clean, and I think council should more focus on a regular commitment and consistency, how we deliver our services to the general people. Because Strathwell Square is the one place to hang out, and every day morning I take the morning train and there is rubbish, and sometimes I see it's getting cleaned and most of the times it's not getting cleaned. So I would request more consistency.
Thank you, Councillor. If no other debate, I'll put this motion to the vote. All those in favour, raise your hand. I declare motion carried unanimously. And we are going to CCS 2. Excuse me, Councillor.
2 is done.
No, 2 is out as well. Who bring this one out?
2 is done.
Done, is it? Oh, yeah. Sorry. CCS 3 now. Okay, investment report. Can I have the mover? Okay, I think I move it.
3 was in the lot.
No, Matthew,
Yeah, it was May. I think I got the wrong number.
no number. Okay, thank you.
I'll move it. Yeah, I'll move it.
Oh,
Yeah.
please move it. Can I have a seconder? Oh, but not worthy. Okay. All right, I put this motion to close.
Sorry.
It's noted.
I have a,
He said he moved it. I don't know.
Councillor Bremo?
yeah, I have a question, sorry.
Okay.
Just looking back, I think it was several months ago, I just had a question to the General Manager through the Chair. It seems like we have really beefed up our term deposits in the last few months. Yeah, can you just comment on that?
Not through you, Mr Mayor. I'm not sure what you
The figure seems to be, in the last few months, I think it seems to be quite, has increased.
in terms of the proportion.
Yeah, not the proportion, the amount.
The amount, that's probably reflective of the cash flow. So you got to remember rates are levied at the start of the year and they come in quarterly instalments. So what you're probably seeing is the next quarterly instalment that's come through. So as that hits the account, then that gets invested into term deposits. There's probably some payments that we've received, also grant payments, so for the WASIG funds that have actually come into our account. They'll sit in there as liabilities because they need to be spent on the works. And then I don't think there's any significant developer contributions that we've received in the last couple of months. So that would be the other thing that would typically explain it. So, but yeah, it'd just be the timing of when rates are coming in. And probably that WASIG funding because some of those milestone payments would have fallen due.
Thank you, General Manager. If no other debate, I will put this motion to the vote. All those in favour, please raise your hand. I think the motion carried unanimously. Right, we go to CCS 4.
I'll move it.
You move it. Okay, move it by Councillor Bradmore, seconded by Councillor Reddy. Are you going to speak for your motion?
I will, yes.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, I want to make a smaller, or a bit of an amendment. There's also point 1. I would like to read, to thank staff for their work identifying $1 million savings. And note that the savings are not agreed by councillors, as they are not all new savings. I want to put a point 3. Leave point 2, point 3. Because obviously we are acknowledging there is a draft budget coming, and I know the staff will do their best to present a very fiscal, frugal budget. Point 3, that a further report be presented to the July Ordinary Council meeting. That includes $1 million new savings. And then a point 4, that although benchmarking against the private sector may not always be the appropriate comparison, it is the comparison that the councillors elected by the community, whose rates fund this council and pay our wages, expect. So we've done a good job, and I know there's a lot of work being done over the time. All these subscriptions listed here, number of them, over $50,000 gone. I think there's a floor mat subscription somewhere, which was thankfully gone. Happy or not, that's those little happy face things which we're paying $5,000 a year to have. These things that you press happy or sad when you leave customer service or library, and I think no data was being recorded. This was in previous management times. There was a number of these things which our current management have done a really good job at identifying and saving over the years. But I just think there's a few savings where, for example, the street sweeping saving, although there is a saving of $350,000, this is something that's been identified already, for example. General insurance, that's a great saving, but again, we have been advised that we are trying to save on the insurance. Aboriginal Heritage Office, saving of $95,000, that's fantastic. But I think things like community decorations, taking $50,000 away from that, isn't something that, the original motion said about things that don't impact the community. I would like to see even more money spent on Christmas decorations. And the community Christmas function, for example, is something, the one event that we really can actually invite the public to really, get to know the staff and get to know councillors. And we're saying to reduce that, which is the one big event where people can actually, interact face to face with our staff and councillors. So I don't see taking away money from that as something that does impact the community. In relation to catering, I believe there will be a saving. There's less workshops because we can't have workshops anymore, so that's fantastic. And there's a few things like that, and some great. It's obviously some extra costs, and probably the other one that I'll bring up. So the Hudson Park cricket pitch is something that we are currently paying for. It's not budgeted for, so therefore we're adding the cost in, but it is something that's already budgeted. Pomeroy Street Master Plan, $300,000. I think that's completely inappropriate expenditure. That would be a good saving to get rid of that as well. So, I'd like councillors' support on this. The staff have done a great job, giving them plenty of time until July to identify. So basically, what my suggestion is saying is the ones that haven't been identified, that are new, that we keep in there, and then we try to find some other ones as well. If we can, we can. If we can't, we can't.
All right. Yeah, Councillor?
First, the question kind of follows nicely. The Pomeroy Street, or the Pomeroy Master Plan is listed. Question through the Chair to the Director. What area does that cover? Is it the park? Is it just the street? I forgot clearly.
Mr. Mayor, it's the whole length from Pomeroy, the bridge, all the way further up the creek.
So north.
Yeah, I think it's Allen. I think it goes all the way up to Allen Street. I think that's the. But it's where the men's shed is and all of that area.
Yeah.
Thank you. Councillor King?
Here, the communication and event, community Christmas decorations, is $2025, 2026 budget is $250,000, and $50,000 is saved. And can I ask, this decoration usually for Swarovski and Homebush villages and other places, and the decoration I think Swarovski is sometimes changing, but mostly it use ordinary one. Every day, every year, we also Christmas decorations, the light and everything, we using same things. So this cost is every year this much are we spending?
That's,
Yeah.
You're asking.
Can you make my question more clearly?
What does it include? Is that the question? What does that?
What's that
He
one?
wants different decoration.
Money is
Every year the same.
money.
Yes. You want to know what it's cost, what it covers?
Yeah, because it's the spend we are using same light and these things. Yeah.
The director is going to respond to the question.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. So yes, so annually, the cost of the decorations is $250,000. That includes things such as the tree out the front of the council chambers, the large decorations at Strathfield Square, the decoration,
Sorry.
thank you, garlands on the awnings, and the decorations that you see throughout the local government area.
I see, but my question was, I know that, but some part you are using new items, a new decoration, but mostly I think if once we have installed, then we use every year same thing, some of them.
Sorry, I think if I can clarify, I think what Councillor Kim, and correct me if I'm just trying to get a bit of, assist you a little bit. So what you're saying is it's the same decorations every year. Council doesn't, I think, are you saying, does council own the decorations, or council's hiring the decorations, paying the company?
So why the money
that
is
what
all
you're-
the time $200,000, more than $200 to be honest?
Thank you for the clarification. Through you, Mr. Mayor, council does not own those decorations, but rather we hire it each year. And I should also note that the cost also includes the cost of installing the decorations as well.
We have the nativity scene, though.
That's not discussing time. All right, if not,
I've got a couple of questions here, Mr.
We have a question.
This is sort of peripheral to what's actually being discussed here broadly and extensively, but I will mention it nonetheless. Something to note is that when a shop is renovated and their awnings are renovated, there's been a few cases of newer local businesses who have sort of unknowingly removed the small hooks from their awnings, and they didn't get Christmas decorations as a result, and it did look a bit funny. So I just wanted to note that for whichever director that is relevant to, for future reference, that maybe there could be some way to ensure that everyone gets them and inform those who have removed the hooks that they should be in. Anyway.
Yeah, question. Thank you. So I note that the catering costs are going down 26,000. My question is, and my hope is that most of that's coming out of the councillor catering budget. We should be leading by example. So I guess the question is that budget reduction coming from councillor hospitality, meals, etc.? Is the majority of that discount?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, a majority of it is, yes, but we've skimmed from across the council, so there is a shared input into that outcome.
Thank you. Councillor?
It's regarding the catering as well. So we spend 84K per year, which is 66% is for councillors catering, which is like $5,000 approximately per month. So we would like to not have the catering, and if at all, if the meeting goes for long or something happens, we can buy a $200 pizza and not have, yes?
Just a point, councillor.
It's a page number 10.
Excuse me, can you wait until she finished?
I just wanted to help her. It says 66 allocated council meetings, workshops, councillor endorsed community or civic events.
Yeah,
So that could be like harmony days and things like that. And
mixture of everything.
councils aren't using 66.
What exactly does it include through the mayor to the director?
So the team looked across the council. We have a number of different catering budgets. Obviously, one is for council, and there is internal as well. We'll consider council internal, but we also have some external as well, as you know, for events and things. So they've looked at that from a balanced perspective to see what we could reduce across the board. And that's listed in the paper for you.
Yes, Councillor.
I guess to reassert Councillor Reddy's goal, perhaps, that we'd like to remove councillor, specifically, meals before council meetings and non-existent workshops, whatever that value might be, to add or augment that saving.
Lovely.
Sorry, staff.
And workshops.
Yes. There are workshops, but
There's no workshop.
No, they are called some other
I
committee.
just want to make a,
Oh, okay.
Just a question on that. And this has come up in the past, and I'm supportive of cutting costs everywhere we can. My understanding is, and the reason I think why we now, instead of having a fully, previous management, none of the executive leadership team here today, they had, quite, over the top catering. We cut a lot of that. I think part of the reason of having the food, the meal before the council meeting is also because our staff have quite a long day at work. They're obviously working their full day, and then they've got to stay here for the council meeting, which, as we know, can sometimes go quite late. I believe there's provisions that if we don't provide a meeting, that it can actually be substantially more costly to pay allowances and such in their place. So I just think we should need to be careful and get some more information from the GM on this one.
Yeah.
As a seconder, I would like to say the intention of it is reduce the cost. And right now what we are catering is a very bad example. For Harmony Day, we cater for close to 200 people, and there was a lot of leftover. We source it from Costco, but whereas we don't want to go to any more fancy caterers and bring something fancy, let's take council as a family, and let's take what is available and what is feasible within our budgets. And let's as a councillors, if we set an example, I'm sure the staff will follow it and they will come along with us on board.
Yes.
Could I amend point 5 to say remove catering budget for councillors for ordinary council meetings? So then staff can still receive a meal. Yeah, perfect. That was quick.
All right. Do you accept the amendment?
Yep.
Thank you,
I
Councillor.
ask one thing.
Do you accept? Yeah?
You want to ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is an important thing, I think. We have a governance and procurement, civic function, and official hospitality. $56,000 can reduce to $30,000, $26,000 is reduced. This is very significant reducement, okay? And what is actually a civic function, official hospitality? For example, in details, can you tell me in details? So why we can reduce $26,000? Because $56,000 is quite a lot of money, and maybe we needed it. But in this year, 2006, 2007, 2007, correct? Yeah. How can we reduce that much catering cost? I'd like to know the reason.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. So when the team did the review, we had a look at what our spending was to date in each of those areas. And based on the forecast for this year and the events that we have left, it looks like there's an opportunity to save it. So they've taken that analysis on it as well. So it's not necessarily that you'd be missing out on a lot more. There would be a balance between just taking on Councillor Reddy's point maybe doing things in a different costed way, but also there would be potentially the savings there at the end of the year anyway, so they've taken that view on both counts.
So this is official hospitality is not for outside guests, just inside our staff, these things? Civic functions are like that?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, so no, that one specifically refers to external events. That line item that you were referencing.
Is Councillor Northworthy?
I'd like to make an amendment at number 6, please. Council, we provide a report on all memberships. So the ones listed in this report are LG New South Wales, Cooks River Alliance,
SS Rock.
we've already done Parramatta, and yes, SS Rock. Oh, and Committee of Sydney. For Sydney? Someone got it wrong. Committee for Sydney.
What is that?
Hang on, can I just add to that?
Membership we have cost us 20 grand. Like Parramatta Catchment Group, but for Sydney.
All right, Councillor.
If I could just add to the section of point 6 that Councillor Nosworthy contributed, and suggested it extends to and the staff's, the council staff's what's the word I'm looking for? Value placed on such memberships. And the point of saying that is to say, look, it could be very easy to look at a list and say, oh yeah, I haven't heard of so-and-so, or I'm not involved. But if there is, value that is contributed through those memberships to the work that staff do, such as, SS Rock, I can sort of say, I know that things like broader tenders and other arrangements, can be done through things like SS Rock and the various rocks across Sydney. So just to get a sort of report, not just saying what those things seek to achieve, or not what we seek to achieve through membership, but broadly speaking, do staff think it's worthwhile continuing, and what's their input on that?
Thank you, Councillor. All right, Councillors. It's enough.
Yes, I'll accept those
amendments. Now put the motion to the vote. All those in favour, please raise your hand. Declare motion carried unanimously. Okay, now we go to PE3. I will move the motion.
Seconded.
Oh, I seconded by Councillor Reddy. Any councillor want to speak for the motion? If not,
Just hang on a moment, please, Mr. Mayor.
PE3, right?
yes.
Just considering his notes. He's just considering his notes.
Oh no, I just want to just.
Yeah, just in relation to this one, it is unfortunate that basically the forced rezonings of council lands and basically bypassing of council by both the state government and federal government have now put a cost burden onto to council for these SSDA proposals, where the proponent can just directly bypass council and go and ask them for everything else, and we miss out on all the bonus. So I think there should be an amendment there, just to add a point 5, that council write to the state member for Strathfield and the federal member for Reid, and the federal member, Reid and Watson, sorry, yes.
Good spot.
Seeking funding for the cost of the SSDA approval process to council. The issue I've got with this one is that Channel 7 recently noting that our council isn't delivering enough housing, yet we've had significant amount of housing, I think nearly 18,000 dwellings rezoned in Homebush, and we've also been forced to accept medium density dwellings into our council area for the first time in its history. So to say that we aren't necessarily delivering housing just because it's not feasible to do so because of our property prices is unfair. And if they're going to try to force housing onto our council and onto our residents, that they should at least compensate us and pay us for the cost and the burden that it's putting onto our council. And I don't think the state member or the federal members either of them have said anything except for fully supporting the current state government's push for a developers' playground across the whole of Sydney.
Okay, Councillor Bailey.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. I had circulated prior to this meeting a urgency motion, which I've since withdrawn after speaking with staff and understanding that there are certain things in place that will hopefully appease some of those concerns. But I do want to just for a moment reflect on what Councillor Blackmore said and contribute to the discussion by adding sort of on the record my 2 cents on this point, because I think it is really disgusting that we've been named and shamed in the media as a council for not meeting housing targets when, as was in what I circulated, the reality is that the council has accepted and worked with the state government to the best of our ability in relation to the TOD. And sort of in line with what Councillor Blackmore was saying earlier, we're an area that hasn't had medium density in our suburb. What I mean to say is that Strathfield has been able to come up with an excellent compromise in its history, which is that we have low density in certain areas of the suburb and medium or high density in and around our train stations. That's a long-standing thing. The Parramatta Road precinct had been spoken about as a growth area around Homebush Station well before the TOD ever came around. I'm talking about the sort of 80s and 90s, and only now are we seeing some uptake. So the issue has always been feasibility, and the reality is under the current economic conditions that are certainly the responsibility of the state and not the local council, feasibility is not possible on those sites. So we are not able to meet our targets, not because of any fault of our own, but rather because of the conditions in which we find ourselves at this point in time. And I think it would be really awful and damaging to the community to see a rush for development to occur or a push for it to happen, or a push for the market to make it happen somehow, when the reality is we want good development and contributions to local character to occur with the community, not to the community, and those things will come in time, but it's by no means council's fault that we're not meeting targets, as was reported on by Channel 7. So I just want to echo what Councillor Blackmore said and say it is rather disgusting to not see better advocacy for this in the State Parliament. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Northwood.
Yeah, just number 5, I believe we want to include the federal member for Watson. Covers South Strathfield. Yeah.
He's too busy.
To run for state.
Send it to yourself.
Thank you, councillors.
You and me.
Oh, you should. Preference me. You're the One Nation candidate.
Oh, no, you're wrong. You're asking about that.
One Nation.
I think maybe 20%.
I think, councillor, can you accept the amendment?
Yeah, all good.
Fantastic.
Then I'll put this motion for the vote. All those in favour, please put your hand up. The motion carried unanimously. And what's the next one? 84. Okay, I'll move the motion and the second by Councillor Reddy. Are you going to speak for the motion?
I just have a question. Point 2, obviously there's half it from the New South Wales Government Local Heritage Grant. Is that a like-for-like grant that we have to match the amount they spend if we want this to occur? Question through the chair to the relevant director.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, it is, so we provide $20,000 and then they provide us 20,000, so it's a.
We did 15, no,
That's right, yes.
Thank you. Yeah, Councillor ready?
I would like to amend it. Can I amend it?
I don't know.
Something in the ineligibility, it says the works cannot be more than 12 months prior. To delete that point in the ineligibilities and in the eligibilities, eligible project types, if we could add the last one saying that prior application have to be made before the renovations can be done.
Commencement of works, yeah?
Yeah, we can't come from. We can't update.
Renovations or commencement of works? Commencement of works?
Yeah, commencement of work. And there is no clear, probably I misread it, but I couldn't see how many, there is a maximum amount of 5,000 which residents can claim it, but there is nothing saying how many times each property can claim. Maybe once in a lifetime, every 10 years once, or we don't have anything which specifically says how many times. They can't keep on coming every year with a repair.
Sorry, through you, Mr. Mayor. If you refer to page 237, it actually does say that it's proposed that applicants may apply for a maximum grant of $5,000 per property.
Yeah, I've got the maximum grant. How many times
Per property.
in the life?
No, maximum per property. The
Per
5,000, that's it.
That's it. They can never come back again. Yeah, and just a private personal comment. All these heritage homes, they are nothing less than 3 million or 4 million, giving them 5K. Not sure. Of course, it's 50-50, dollar for dollar. And I do understand we have 20 grand, 20K as a grant, and we are putting in 20 grand, or we are putting in 40 grand and plus 20 grand. Like, if through the mayor, if I could ask the general manager for clarifications.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, council have always had a $20,000 budget allocated in its annual budget towards heritage activities, and then there was the grant that we received for the additional, so the maximum of 40,000 for this program.
Per annum. So are we assured that we'll receive the grant from the state government every year?
27.
Yeah, 26, 27, it's guaranteed. After that, I can't guarantee, no.
So maybe somewhere we could include, as long as the grant keeps coming, we could do it.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, it actually talks about the Local Heritage Grants Program 2025 to 2027, so I think that does limit it for us. That's okay?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I can accept that.
Just a quick comment. I think the concern about the ability for a certain dwelling to have only 5,000. I mean, it's in that time period because it is just going off the title that was just mentioned. New South Wales Government's Local Heritage Grants Program 25-27. Assuming that after 27, the budget in 27, we would have to re-adopt the policy. I mean, at that point, I'm assuming the current wording would allow for the same dwelling to then accept money again, if need be, or if they're requesting it in a further round. Does that question sort of make sense? Or I guess what I'm sort of, trying to ask is, are we limiting each dwelling to $5,000 in perpetuity.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, I would suggest that is the way we do it to make it equitable so everybody, we have over, I think in the report, there's over 300 on page, I think, we have a large number of heritage listed properties, and I think to be equitable, it would be good to just limit it.
Thank you, Councillor.
Just my issue with this report and this motion is we say endorse option 3, so that's saying it's dwelling only classified as neutral. We actually don't have these classifications in our DCP because we actually voted to not take any further action, in my understanding, on actually putting this into our DCP. I am opposed to those names and listings being in our DCP because I have been told by another councillor in a different council area that putting neutral listing onto a heritage conservation property has actually caused issues in the Land Environment Court in a particular case. So we're saying option 3, so classify things as neutral. We actually don't have those classifications, so it's not relevant. The thing is, we're also saying we'll just do this program, and then that we just implement the program guidelines, eligibility criteria. I would have thought that that would possibly come to council, like what the guidelines and what the eligibility criteria. It could be financial eligibility, and actually a bit more detail on it. I'd basically like to just make an amendment to just say endorse the establishment and implementation of Heritage Assistance Grants Program. I'll leave point 3. I trust that we will have some good guidelines and good criteria. I think what people are getting stuck on the idea of giving someone funds to improve their house, but what you're actually missing is when you're actually moving into or buying into or renting in an area, whatever the case may be, you look at all of our council documents, all of the promotion, you look at everything online that people talk about Strathfield, and they talk about these big heritage properties and about that sort of heritage aspect of our area. They don't really talk about these big monstrosities who have completely trashed our area. So by actually investing in these conservation heritage homes, it's investing in our community and investing in the look and the feel of the whole suburb. We are very, very lucky that we're one of the only councils who has basically, by having our conservation area wrapped around our train stations, we actually basically have when we protect these properties, we actually have something that actually barricades in a way our suburb and the established homes and residential areas of our suburb from the high density areas. When you actually look at the streets that are heritage conservation, it actually protects our whole suburb. So it's really, really important. $40,000 I don't think is enough, but I probably don't have support for that because I think some people don't see the value in it. So I'll keep it at that, and I think we can reassess that in the future.
Can I get the to
Can
respond?
you just respond to something that was mentioned very briefly? Sorry, I think the councillor brought up the DCP neutral and contributory and whatnot. That is, from what I understand, in the now closed proposal that's gone out to the community. I will be bringing some comments to that to the next meeting nonetheless, but my understanding is that is currently what we have gone out to the community on exhibition with those classifications in it, and that's now closed.
Thank you, Councillor. Can I have the...
Through you, Mr. Mayor, thank you. Councillor Bellotti, you are correct. That exhibition period is closed. The staff are currently reviewing all those submissions, and there'll be a report coming back shortly on that. Mr. Mayor, could I possibly suggest that we defer this report potentially and bring it back at the Strategy and Policy Committee, where we can actually provide a presentation and some details around what we're trying to achieve.
Fantastic. I think that's a good idea.
Thank you.
You happy with that?
Yeah, can understand that.
accept it?
Yep.
No more vote, is it? Okay.
No more discussion, you can.
Yep. If no more discussion about this matter, I now put the motion to the vote. All those in favor, please raise your hand. I declare motion carried unanimously. And we are going to PE5. Can I have mover? Council Brady, seconded by Council Reddy. Are you going to move for your motion?
Yes.
Speak?
No.
No, thank you. If not,
Just a question.
So this item has a breakdown of Beautiful Business Grant Program 30,000, Economic Development Strategy 60,000. The previous motion about the $1 million saving had a business events and activation program expense of 100,000. So are these two separate expenditures, or am I? Yeah. So I've got
Through you, Mr. Mayor, it should be 100,000. Sorry, it's 90,000 in here, and the idea would be to bring back 95, so it's about 95. It's just clear, we can change that.
But it's just my question whether it's not two separate
No.
monies. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
thank you. Any other debate about this motion? I'll put this motion for the vote. All those in favor, please put your hand up. Thank you, councillors. I declare motion carried unanimously. Okay, now we go to PE6. Can I have mover for the motion? Councillor Barbie, can I have seconder? Councillor Northworthy, thank you, councillors. Anyone want to speak for this motion? Councillor Northworthy?
I'm not sure if we still have scope to alter the submission, but some feedback I've got is around the opening hours of I think it's called the mainline grocery store. And then related to that is the truck movements around that. So I don't know if that's something we can include are we able to put limitations on it? Are we able to ensure there's not disruption to the surrounding areas by deliveries at unsociable hours? I guess that's a bit of a question as well as a comment. So if the submission is still editable before being submitted, could we add those in to ensure there's not too much disruption by the construction of a mainline grocery store?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, I would note that this is a SSDA, and council is not the consent authority. We provide a submission. What we tend to do, because of the timing, when we get an SSDA, we only get given 2 weeks. And sometimes we don't get in there. So what we tend to do is do a draft submission, and they accept that on condition that we don't get a final submission. So we can add that point. Again, it is submission.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other debate about this one? No? Can I have? I now put motion to the vote. All those in favor, please put your hand up. I declare motion carried unanimously. Okay, next one is EO1. Can I have Councillor Body, seconder?
Oh, right, sorry. I'm sure.
Okay. Seconder, Councillor Bramall. Are you going to speak for your motion?
I won't.
Okay, anyone want to speak for the motion?
Yeah, I'm speaking. I just know there's a lack of details, a lot of kind of what the lapse is and what it aims to do, and maybe this is deliberate, I'm not quite sure of the process, but there's no kind of specifics about what's being considered, what might change, other than just kind of, this is what we think about, this is the plan. Maybe that comes at a later date. I guess my question is, will there be more detail provided at a later date, or is this kind of all that goes to public exhibition?
Thank you, Councillor. Any other?
I'm just waiting for the Director to answer.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. Councillors, you were presented with a working document last year, which was, I guess, the internal land and property strategy, which contained detailed information on potential options for our various properties. That's a working document that will change. The councillors have identified 11 priority locations, which we're working on, and we will be providing regular updates to councillors as we develop those different priorities. So this is just the public-facing document.
Yeah, so follow-up question. So I guess that those 11 sites and all the detail there isn't public information at any point?
Through you, Mr Mayor. At this stage, no, but we will be providing regular reports as we develop those
Site by site?
That's right.
Yeah, Councillor Bramall.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, just in relation to this one, my only concern is, and I know we do have obviously the public-facing document and the council document, we've also had a recommendation already about reclassifying land last year. So we are doing things in there. But from what I read of this report, and correct me if I'm wrong, you know, my feeling is if I was a resident who wasn't keeping an eye on council, I'd look and say, oh, hey, nothing's happening, nothing to see here. Where I think there probably should be some wording in there about, better utilisation of our properties, or, potentially divestment of properties, or potential, purchases of land to increase green space or community space. And just wondering whether that's something that would be appropriate to have some sort of wording in this document to just cover those things that potentially may happen.
Thank you, Councillor.
So not specifics, but...
Yes, that's fine. We can include some wording to that effect.
Do I need to add that, or you're...
I'm happy to add that through the community consultation period, and then we'll be bringing a report back.
I just think it's just...
It's a bit unclear what...
No, I just think people, I don't, if we're going to rely on this document, I don't think it gives us any authority to do anything as well, and then the public might say, well, you're trying to be deceptive in that approach, where we obviously have everything has been very, very openly, transparently done at council meetings, and the public, and everything in the future will be obviously publicly available when it occurs. I just want to make sure that it's not deceptive at all.
I'm happy for the director to make the amendments.
Thank you. All right, councillors, if no other debate, I'll now put the motion to the vote. All those in favour, please put your hand up. I declare motion carried unanimously. And going to EO2, the curriculum maintenance. Can I have mover? Councillor Reddy, and seconded by Councillor Northworthy. Any councillor want to speak for this motion?
My only thing, I don't know what the need for this motion is. The previous resolution didn't call for a report. So, yeah, I actually don't.
Tell us how much
What is this motion doing?
This report, sorry.
Through you, Mr Mayor. The only intention was to advise the councillors of the likely ongoing maintenance costs.
Thank you. Any other debate for this one? If not, I put this motion for the vote. All those in favour, please raise your hand. Councillor Kim?
I'm not sure she was awake.
Doesn't look like.
Councillor Burnett?
Did you vote on something she wasn't awake for?
Thank you, Councillor. Declare motion was carried unanimously. Okay, we are going to EO3, license negotiation, finalization. I think that's good things. Can I?
Did someone...
Yeah, I took it
Rory,
out.
sorry, Rory.
Yeah, come on.
Councillor Nosworthy took it out.
Can I have the mover?
I'll move it.
Okay, can I have seconder?
I'll second it.
Seconded. Moved by Bremo, seconded by Councillor Reddy. Okay.
No.
Councillor Northworthy?
Yeah.
Speak for that?
Yeah, obviously, you had a motion that trumpeted your support of these properties. Fortunately, according to the Telegraph, the rent's gone up significantly, so I'm not sure how that plays into you supporting it. Again, maybe disagreeing slightly with Councillor Kim's comments from last council meeting, that they should be thankful. I think really we should be thankful to them, to the service they offer and the competitive rate they offer it at. Obviously, as a young parent myself, I know the costs quite well, and you know I've heard a lot of comments. We heard some now at council meeting last month about how much parents value this service, how they couldn't find the support at other services. We know not-for-profit services are better quality, safer, cheaper.
We don't know that, councillor.
I can go back to my notes from the ACCC, from the I can't remember the peak body's name. The ABC report, unfortunately, highlighting the risks of crimes being committed is higher in for-profit rather than not-for-profit. So I'm worried we're treating our not-for-profits quite poorly here. So yeah, I'll be voting against this. I think we should be being a more generous landlord to these services because of the high quality service and the high levels of appreciation our local residents have for them.
Thank you, Councillor.
Just one question first, and then I'll...
Just in relation to point 3, just our property policy, does the mayor, because it's a 5-year lease and that money, does the mayor need to sign that as well? No?
We gave authority already
Okay.
to the
And I'll probably make an amendment, Mr. Mayor. Point 4, if you will, that the mayor put out a media release saying that we have given the not-for-profits a 5-year lease, starting off with a 40%. No? Sure. Huh? Oh, confidential. I'll be open meeting.
You're talking about the confidential stuff.
Okay, so with a large discount. Apologies. With a large discount. And that Strathfield Council continues to support not-for-profit childcare within our community. And noting the vote on the matter.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Reddy, are you accept the amendment?
Yes, I do.
All right. If you accept the motion, I will put this one for the vote. All those in favor, please put your hands up. I declare the motion carried unanimously. Against? Against Councillor Reddy, Councillor Northworthy.
Sorry, but just want to make sure the wording's there, and just noting the vote as well.
Okay, I'll redo it. All right, now I put the motion to the vote. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Councillor Blackmore, Councillor King, Councillor Barty, Councillor Reddy, and Councillor Chai. Against? Councillor Northworthy. I declare motion carried. Okay, we are going to 12.2. Can I have a mover?
That was taken out.
Second, local traffic forum.
Oh, yes, sorry, I didn't take that out. I just wanted to...
Are you going to second it?
I will second it, yes.
You seconded it, okay. Now, are you going to speak for the motion?
I will, Mr. Mayor, thank you. I just wanted to make a slight amendment, and it's something we may have overlooked.
Can you sit down first?
I sure can.
You might listen to what the amendment is.
Sure. There's just a point, and let me just quickly bring up where it is, bear with me. Hang on. No. Sorry, apologies. I just want to make one slight adjustment. second item, 6.2, I believe. Now, in 6.2, what we agreed to do in the committee meeting was, in the local transport forum, was to install bollards outside certain areas of the town centre. Now, because it's affecting the town centre and it is at a cost, I was just going to, and just reflecting on the point that we made in the the points that were made in the meeting, I think it might be worth waiting until or holding off on this until the town centre master plan is published. So it's just a deference of this until that point, is what we're thinking to do in this. This is on page 7 of the report.
I'm looking at page, unless I'm looking at the wrong thing, page 18.
Of the report?
Yeah, that talks to the recommendation, which says that, one, based on the fact that the town centre master plan is coming out in the very near future, any improvements in the town centre be placed on hold until the master plan set by.
This is the second time tonight.
Apologies. It was noted in the meeting, but I wasn't sure if it was reflected in the paper. And when I did have a look at what was published, I missed that point. But nonetheless, I'm glad it's reflected. Thank you.
Good job. All right, Councillor Northworthy.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As reminded by Councillor Bellardi, there's a lot of bollards being discussed and or scheduled. I'm just wondering if there is a more visually pleasing version, planters, screwed down, those types of options because bollards can be, I know the ones in Homebush West are quite visually intrusive, so that it kind of fits in better with the aesthetic and, provides safety and provides visual benefit.
Just to answer, the recommendation actually does deal with this, and something we have spoken about in efforts to beautify the area, if you will. We have basically put in place for that particular plan the policy that we will place bollards only where absolutely necessary because of space limitations, but planter boxes do achieve the same desired outcome, and they'll be what we place. And that's also in the Homebush Town Centre as well. There's two planter boxes installed that act as both a bollard, and they are beautiful. So that's already sort of reflected in the recommendation.
Sorry, slightly annoying question. Through the chair to the director, is there any difference in kind of safety achieved from bollards to planter boxes? Like, I imagine one's a bit lower. I don't know if that affects SUVs and larger vehicles.
Through the chair, planter boxes aren't necessarily designed to withdraw vehicle impact. The other matter to take into consideration is obviously a planter box is much wider, so in certain locations they may not be appropriate, but happy to look at a balance.
Thank you. All right. No other debate. I now put the motion to the vote. All those in favour, please put your hand up. Thank you, councillors. Declare motion carried unanimously. And now we go into 13.2. Can I have mover? Which one? Committee says on that. Huh? No more. Okay. Okay, councillors. Yeah. Okay. Councillors, for agenda item 13.2, the general manager has tabled a response to both to the question with notice, and you have been provided with a copy of the response. This response will be published with the minutes of the meeting on the council's website. Okay, councillors, does anyone have a matter of urgency that they wish to bring before the meeting? As there be no further business, I declare the meeting closed. The time is being 8:47 p.m. I declare the meeting closed.